When I was 10, I moved into my dad's place in a small, unfamiliar neighborhood that I didn't know anyone there, except for a family he was close with, a single mom and her 3 kids. The oldest was a girl around 12. We weren't close, but we'd talk sometimes. We gradually got to know each other more through mutual friends. Over time, I got to know her little brother too. He was fun, harmless. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out at their place. Their mom was working late again, part of her usual nursing job that she'd recently been helping a woman whose sister had been in a mental hospital. That sister had just been released. No one thought anything of it. She found out where the family lived by listening to her sister's conversations. That night, the doorbell rang. Rob figured it was their mom. She always knocked in a very specific way. Without thinking, Rob opened the door. IT wasn't her MO, IT was the sister, the one who had just gotten out. Rob panicked. He wasn't supposed to be there. So he jumped out the window, and our AN never looked back. He just ran down the street, thinking it was no big deal. But what happened next made it unforgettable. My wife's grandmother was in her early 70s, still sharp and independent even after her husband passed. To stay active and social, she volunteered at the local library a few days a week. That night, winter had already settled in, and the sun was gone before 5 p.m. She usually took the bus or got a ride. But this time, she insisted on walking. Just a mile, she'd said. It's good for me. About halfway home, she noticed someone walking behind her. First, she thought it was nothing, but his pace matched hers, and she could feel him getting closer. She slowed. He slowed. She sped up. He sped up. Her house was just around the corner. She could see her porch light glowing in the distance. But then, she felt a hand clamp down on her shoulder. He whispered in a dry voice, "Don't turn around. Give me your purse." Her fingers tensed on the strap of her bag. She took one step forward, then turned fast. She carried a .38 in her purse, something her late husband taught her to use. The bullet caught him in the neck, and he fell immediately. She stood there, stunned, but safe. The man didn't die that night. He spent 5 years in a prison hospital. She never saw him again. When I was around 10, my older sister, 17 at the time, used to babysit me whenever our parents were out. She smoked back then, and our parents made her do it outside, always near the carport. I'd usually follow her out, just to mess around or keep her company. One night, she paused mid-smoke and stared toward the road. A white SUV was parked just outside our property, completely still, engine off. Its windows were so tinted you couldn't see anything inside. IT didn't move until she went inside. But as soon as she did, it drove off, slowly, to the nearby church parking lot. Every time she stepped back out, it returned. The next day, it happened again. Same SUV, same pattern that we told our dad, who was a sheriff's deputy at the time, that he called local patrol and filed a report. Nothing came of it. The SUV vanished before officers arrived. Then months passed. We started to forget about it. But one summer afternoon, it came back. My sister froze. She'd had enough. She told me to stay back as she walked down the driveway. Halfway there, she stopped suddenly. Later, she said it was pure fear, like something inside her screamed, "Don't go further." She turned and walked back, pale and quiet. She never tried confronting it again. I was just 4, maybe 5 when my parents separated and I started living part-time with my mom. She had a 2-bedroom apartment, and even though I had my own room, I usually slept in hers. That summer night, the window behind the bed was open to let in a breeze. Prompt when I woke up in the middle of the night and sat up, quietly. Our cat was standing in the doorway, which was strange. He always slept with us. That I watched him slowly walk into my room and meow. That I turned to wake my mom, confused and nervous. Within seconds, we both looked back toward the door. There was a man walking out of my bedroom. That I still don't know how she did it, but my mom scooped me up instantly. Without a word, she threw me through the open window. She jumped out right after me. We started yelling for help immediately, and someone called the police. When they arrived, they found no signs of forced entry. Only the front door was unlocked. My mom swore she had locked the deadbolt and chain before bed. That a week later, she was cleaning near the water heater closet. She opened it and froze. There was a notebook inside. IT had names, strange drawings, and our apartment number. The police said he might have been hiding there for days. It was just a normal Saturday, and I was doing laundry in the basement while home alone. Our basement was split in two, one side for laundry, the other dark and mostly in use. As I finished folding clothes, the single light bulb on the other side suddenly blew out that I froze for a second, then laughed it off. But now the only way out was through the pitch black side of the basement that I grabbed the basket and took a deep breath. Halfway across, the silence was so thick it felt like I was being watched. Then, just behind me, I heard a dry, raspy cackle that chilled every inch of my skin. Tea didn't sound human. Tea was like someone imitating a witch. After 50 years of smoking that I ran up the stairs without looking back. When my dad came home, I made him change the bulb, but I didn't mention the sound. Not then, not ever. I didn't even tell my sister, who sleeps just above that basement. To this day, I never heard that cackle again. But something about that corner still feels wrong, like it's waiting. I moved out years ago. The new family seems happy enough, but sometimes I wonder if they've heard her too.